Hello everyone, Cookify Media did the honors for me. What is up? What is up? Sorry for the delays. Oh man. I think my girlfriend lost her phone. Sorry about that beep. Let me get everything situated here. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that was that's the noise whenever you try to find your phone from your watch. Let me sign in real quick over here. I guess that doesn't really matter. Let me I gotta confirm my email address. So what I want to do, not abandoning the project. I just need to take a little break from it. Do something a little bit different. And I'm in preparation for a Supabase and Supabase and SvelteKit video. So why not do some on-stream learning here? Did you ever try AppWrite? I find it better than Supabase, especially with permission management. I have not, but I'll add it to the list. I'll add it to the list. I just know that Supabase is a big one. I've had a lot of requests for it, so, and I've used it. I have a couple projects, but I haven't used it since the latest SvelteKit updates. So I'm gonna have to check out the API docs. I'm also gonna use Prisma with it as well. So I need to learn how to do that. I've yet to do that. So I don't want this Stream Elements bot in my chat. So I've been trying to set up alerts and stuff. I don't know if anybody's noticed or not, but I was recently partnered with YouTube. So now I have channel memberships which you can join and receive a shout out in a Discord role. Currently, I haven't had the time to set up like stream notifications that don't look stupid. So I need to hire somebody to make some for me. So I think that'll be done in like a week to 10 days, what they said. So once that's all done, I'll have notifications set up on the stream. Let's see here. Are we back in business? I think we might be good now. I think I'm back. I swear it was Spectrum because they tried to yeah, who knows? If I cut out again though, I'm trying to call it. We'll pick this back up tomorrow. But after planning on starting this an hour and a half ago, we're now starting, so. I'm trying to position my mic here. No oop in this house. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of OOP either, to be fair. I'd rather just write everything as functions, but yeah, Demetrius, go figure, right? All right. For some reason, my audio sounds a bit off here. Does everything sound loud enough to you all? As far as my voice and everything goes, I'm not sure if my monitor's just down or what, but it seems slightly less, I don't know. Okay. Where were we? Supabase and SvelteKit. Let's see here. Give me a second. So I think I'm going to use, well, I'm eventually going to use Tailwind UI for this. But yeah, right now I just want to get the actual functionality working. So we'll focus on styles later on. I'm going to use Prisma for sure. I'm going to use Supabase. They should have a frameworks quick start or something here. And I can see this. Okay. I need a drink of water. I'm thirsty from complaining for the past hour and a half. Yeah, Demetrius, I don't know about the leaking part. I don't really know how that works. I should probably reach out to the does that join link really not work? It works for me. Works for me. Really? Okay, that's strange. Let me fix that really quick because I populated my entire, sorry for this like spitting into my mic there. I populated my entire YouTube videos with that link. It's weird that it doesn't work. I can't tell if you guys are trolling me or what, but let me just see here. Also, something happened. Somebody posted my Pocket Base episode 1 somewhere. Really? Oh, wait. Oh, I did HBYT. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not the URL. See if this works. Wait, why did I just message as restream? Yeah, so my episode 1 Pocket Base video, it literally blew up essentially overnight. It went from like 1,800 views to like right here. This is a pretty steady trend. That's pretty much what most of my videos do. They just gradually grow. And then all of a sudden, like Friday, I checked and I had 2,900 and I was like, whoa. And then again, it's still climbing. So I don't know if it was linked somewhere. And if you look here, almost 2,000 views have come from a direct or unknown source. And they recognize like Discord or other things like that. So when I was researching, it said that it came from a, like someone posted a link somewhere that doesn't have a there's no referral link, I guess. So yeah, I don't know what's happening, but I gotta investigate and figure out who leaked my video address. I have a bone to pick with them. Okay. That's why that link doesn't work. So let me just update Nightbot. Even though I'm probably gonna replace him with something else because kind of sucks, but yeah. I have foreseen it 100 by 100K by June 2023. There's no chance. I mean, there's a chance, but it's we'll see. I'd have to start making some really clickbaity content for that to happen, but that would certainly be cool. That would certainly be cool. And that video is out of date? No, it's actually not. So that's the first of the series I'm doing right now. So that video is actually up to date. So I wonder if actually it may be like in the Pocket-based docs or something. But typically, like if it's coming from GitHub, I want to say that YouTube can figure that out, but maybe not. Like my only thought was like, did they put it into here or something? But I'm not seeing it. And their Twitter, I follow them on Twitter, so yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody posted it here. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I really should do that, to be honest. I really should update that video. I need to. That's why I went ahead and just redid it. I was like, wow, that kind of sucks that it released right afterwards, but it's okay. Okay. I need to create a project. Let me put this somewhere. I don't really have a place to put this right now. Let me see. Okay. Paste it in chat. Yeah, I'll save it in chat. Now I was watching another streamer who streamed building a live project, and as soon as he put his server online, there was like a bunch of people DDoSing it. It's kind of annoying. It's like, come on, man. It was like a dev server he just put online for people to test out, and somebody was DOSing it, so he had to set up rate limiting and whatnot. Okay. I don't remember what they show here. Do they show any like sensitive information right off the bat? Okay, they do a good job of hiding things at least. I want to use Prisma with this. So I should probably set that up, right? I think there's a guide to this on either this or it's actually on the Prisma site. Or is it under quick starts? Nope. Integrations. Prisma. So I'm fairly certain this can be very, very similar to Pocketbase. I haven't done any research before this video, or before this stream. Again, I've used Pocketbase, or I'm sorry, I keep saying Pocketbase. I've used Supabase and SvelteKit in a project, 2 projects, one for work actually, that we use, like an internal tool that just makes our life a bit easier. And then, but that was the previous SvelteKit, and I haven't upgraded that yet. And then when I tried to do another one, their helpers were broken. So you had to do it like some manual way, and I was getting annoyed, which is why I started to build a project with Pocketbase, found it super simple, and yeah. But yeah, for videos, I certainly research, but today, on stream, I'm going to be dibbling everything. If you're using Prisma, just maybe paste the DB URL in an environment variable, it should work. Yeah, I thought there was so is this gonna be okay? So it shows your password here. I'm trying to make sure. I don't really care. I'll just delete the project if I leak something, I guess, but I'm trying to be aware of that. I don't want to do a starter project. Now my question is, isn't there like an auth table with Supabase? Oh, it's called users now too? You should have a hotkey. I do have a hotkey. I can just never remember it. It's actually, let me see here. I need to get one of those stream decks. I can't remember which one's my blur and which one's my break. Really, I probably should just take break off because as a hotkey, because I don't really use it. Well, I just click on it. Well, I use the Supabase SDK. Should I use that? So that's the question. Like, should I use Prisma or can I use both? If the SDK is going to give me a hard time when I'm trying to make complicated queries like it does with Pocketbase, then I don't want to use it. Can't use both. Is that a fact? So in that case, I'm just doing a database as a service then. I'm not actually getting any of the auth benefits or anything out of it. Because like my whole thing is, if I don't get to use the services that this backend as a service offers, then why don't I just use like a $5, $2 a month DigitalOcean Postgres database or MySQL database with Prisma? I mean, it makes sense. It certainly does make sense that you couldn't use them together because of the fact that I'm keeping track of my own auth state rather than Supabase doing it. Supabase is free, I guess, for the free tier. But then as soon as you want to try to it's expensive for what they offer for just a database. Another thing too is like, can I even use real time with Prisma? Probably not, right? I need to actually use their, or can I? I certainly like the idea of using Prisma to define tables and stuff. I'm trying to think, or I could have potentially like used Prisma to set up. I think I could potentially use them both together. I would just have like my own APIs that I build from Prisma, or that I build that uses Prisma, and then anything basic I can just use the SDK for. But again, am I losing access to that? Because here it shows them defining a model user. Is that like the profile? They may have changed things since I last used it, to be honest with you. So basically I don't use this with Prisma at all. So I can't do like the integrated social auths and whatnot. I have to do all that from scratch. This is another thing too, row level security as well. God, I'm not signed in. It's in light mode. Gross. Yeah, so this is what I'm kind of getting at here. The main advantage of using Supabase versus just hosting my own Postgres database or whatever, MySQL database. Oh, so it's free Postgres for free. Okay, so you can support real-time subscriptions. Some also rely on authentication and subscriptions provided by Supabase. PG Bouncer, all subscriptions, and the data API, all features that are extremely useful in many situations. This is obviously a Prisma employee right here, so of course. Good night, Demetrius. Thanks for hanging out. Michael says, Prisma schema will hold your database tables and will set up migrations that you push Supabase. Supabase will automatically set up APIs and you can talk through Supabase JS v2. Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Because I don't like the idea of actually having to manage the tables and whatnot from inside of Supabase or through these SDK. I don't even know if you can create tables in SDK. I think you have to do it there. But if I can use, yeah, good luck on that test tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to kill it. And also, Michael, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream and chat. Yep, so I think that's what we'll do. I still want to take advantage of the SDK, I think. Just because that's... So I guess I'll initialize a project, Prisma project, and then, or a SvelteKit project, and I'll add Prisma to it. And then I will, what's the plan with the Pocket Base series? Welcome to the chat, Joel. I actually have a video coming out tomorrow. The next video is coming out tomorrow. If you're talking about live streams, I will pick it up soon. I just need to take a little bit of a breather from it. My creativity was going stale, so I'm just doing something different now. This is prep that I'm doing for a Supabase and SvelteKit video. But yeah, the series is still in the works. I already pretty much have all the code done to get to the finish line on that series, and as well as the deployment options and things like that. But I just need to actually just do them. It's time consuming, actually. Editing, recording. But yep, that's in the works. Okay, now I need to set up Prisma. Would this be considered adding this to an initial project? I've been kind of stealing the project and remaking it for a nonprofit I'm a part of. Hey, that's perfectly fine, Joel. Or Joel. You're talking about the Project Hunt, or the bigger one? The live stream one? Yeah, it's not done. I'm not finished with it. Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. Anything I'm doing on stream, if I have an issue with it, I'll put a license in the repo and you'll know. But it'll be And the most I would do is just prevent commercial use. But for nonprofit, I don't care. That's cool though. Be sure to send me your modified version of it. NPX Prisma init. Did I even install that yet? I did. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here. NPX Prisma. And then I need to do NPX Prisma init. Oh, I did Prima. Wait, what was the point of that? I guess to test to see if I had it. Okay, set the database URL in the .env file to point to your existing database. I just need to change this to Postgres. Okay. Doesn't this also like start up a server? What's it called? I forgot what the server is called that it starts up. It's a purple server or web API or web app that I can access the database through as well. Studio, Prisma Studio. That's what it is. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've used Prisma. What's my blur? Control F11. All right, I'm gonna go blurry here while I add this environment variable. So give me a second. You guys can't see this, can you? I don't know how blurry it is. I'm always concerned that it's not blurred enough, but I guess I'll test and find out right now. Okay. Joel said, yeah, I just have projects as news and working away from there. But do you know how to make the description support line break to make it more fancy? Also, sorry if I'm distracting you. You're not distracting me, man. That's what this is for. That's why I live stream. You'd probably want to do like a WSGI. Is that WSIYG something? WYSIWYG. Some type of WS. I can never remember this word. WYSIYG. That will allow you to actually edit the way that it looks. Now, when it comes to storing that, though, and restoring it, yeah, you'd probably have to do like a... I've done that before. So I actually create a blog. I just don't remember exactly how I did it. But yeah, it's definitely possible to do so. Okay, where is my database connection string? This doesn't look like my database password that I copied earlier. Oh. Oh, nice. They already populated this for me. Cool. TipTap is a good one. I don't remember what I've used in the past, and there's a few that are pretty good, and then a few suck. I learned from experience. Okay. I think I'm good now to unblur. So this already is good. My provider already is this. Let's see here. Okay, now do I need to model my users? That's a question. Do I need to model my users? Yeah, but let's see here. I won't have access to that, will I? I'm about to expose myself over here, I think. Okay, this is my public key. Okay. No, so for the database, so from what I understand, that am I connecting to this schema, or it's protected, right? So this is my users table. I could obviously have the profile, I believe, because I don't know if this has like name and whatnot, right? This just has the auth stuff. But do I need to link that to something else? So they show it here. Where is it? Let me think about this for a second. So if I want to use both, I want to use Prisma for auth and then, or I'm sorry, Supabase for auth and then Prisma for the other tables, my tables that I would normally create, right? I need to relate my user table with my actual user in the auth users table, right? So I probably won't write to the auth.users. But for profiles, right? So this is an example. The ID references auth.users. But if I'm doing this with Prisma, it's not going to know what the hell this is, right? you're going to write to the user table from Prisma, it'd be, okay. Yeah, I already read that, I think. I guess my thoughts are I'm trying to okay, so they don't have password here at all. Oh, don't worry, Chris. I will figure it out. I will figure it out. I just need to like think for a second, think about how I want to, or how this makes sense. So this here, they just create a user. They don't have a password or anything. So to me, does that mean that they are, this is like the user profile? The only thing is that they don't have any type of relation to the actual users table. And of course, there's not jack for content out there with this specific use case. Prisma Supabase users profiles. Aha. Oh, great. Your database programming skills are up to par. If your database programming skills are up to par, well, I'm about to get exposed here. I guess a trigger would be pretty easy. So this, I think I can already tell where this is going before I even finish reading it. Hey, Adrian. Right now, it says hello, I'm new. I don't understand much English, but what are you doing? Welcome to the stream, Adrian. I'm determining, yep, exactly what Chris Moore said. I'm trying to figure out how I want to set up Prisma and Supabase. Or I guess Prisma with Supabase. I want to take advantage of Supabase for the authentication piece of the pie. And then I want to use Prisma for anything else. So anything else that I would create within Supabase, like any of these custom tables, I want to manage that with Prisma, but I want the auth to go through Supabase still. And this trigger here makes sense. So probably when I go and create a new user, what it will do is I can potentially mirror the ID and email and all that stuff into the whatever database table I specify in that trigger to create a record there. So that's what I'm thinking this is going to do. Because you can't add things to that auth.users. That is for reference. If anybody's watching and wants to read this as well or save it for a rainy day. Yep. So when a user signs in, Supabase trigger to the profile table, and then there's a relation between the two. Sorry if this is like too zoomed out. I'm trying to make it to where everybody can read. Profiles table. Um, hmm. So with this, though, Prisma will not know about this table. But I guess that does that matter? I don't think it even matters. I think it's still define the schema and then, but I guess the relationship is what's the big thing. Because from what I recall, the Prisma is like the master, right? Or the main, whatever you want to call it today. If I create something in Supabase before I define it in Prisma, it's not like, well, Prisma then it would override that, right? When it does a migration. Give me 3 seconds. Okay, I'm back. On sign up, create user, trigger, and then Prisma takes over. Yeah, but I guess how do I define that schema in Prisma? All I remember is that I loved Prisma's documentation. I need to look for, they have control K though. They don't have control K. I'm disappointed. They have slash. I guess that I'll accept that. Type ORM is very good too. So I've used type ORM. I think I actually have a starter repo on my GitHub for Nest.js and type ORM, I believe. And sessions. Type ORM is really good too. I don't really want to look at that though. I don't want to look at so really I want to actually work on the schema relations, because the type safety with Prisma is like it knows about this user and it'll yell at me if that user doesn't exist. Adrian says Supabase was some flag that determines the authentication of Prisma with the database models. Yes. So all of my other database, all the other models that I would normally create in Supabase beyond authentication, managed by Prisma. But with that link I sent, it seems like we can have a trigger. So when somebody signs up, it can create a row in our, user model, for example. But if it's like to create that relation though, or to define that relation in Prisma, I thought that I had to have all of the because here, if we look, right, at that article, he's creating a table, or he/she is creating a table. And let's look. So they're adding a foreign key for ID. Or wait. So it's a reference. So the IDs are the same. I hate this sidebar here. Okay, so here they have profiles and they have an ID, which is a foreign key. It is the ID of the actual auth users, right? So this is the same ID. But then when we try to delete that, there's a foreign key constraint. We have to delete profiles first. But I guess, does Prisma even care that that's a foreign key? Or that's my question, is when I update this with Prisma, is it going to scream at me that it doesn't have a foreign key relationship? And then also, am I going to run into issues down the road when I want to use like the SDK to check to see like, hey, does this person own X, Y, or Z? Which I guess I can just query based on the ID. So as long as the IDs match, again, the only thing is that relation. So when I delete a user, the profile is still there, which I guess I could set something up to delete that too, right? On the user delete. So there won't be a true relation between the two. Okay, let me think here. So we lose the, I think we lose the relationship aspect of it if we use this method here, right? I think we lose that relationship. Because here they're setting a foreign key relation for ID to the auth.users ID. I guess we could manually have that and check. Because otherwise, I don't think we can even edit these protected schemas, right? So let me think. Yeah, so here's the thing. So I've been a Supabase auth, but I'm now facing the issue of not being able to reference the auth.users table in my Prisma schema to create a relationship between my profile entity and auth.user. If I'm not a Prisma user, I think what you want to do is create a view in your public schema that gives you the necessary access to your auth.users table, or put a trigger on auth.users and insert update data in public.users or public.profiles table that you can access. So the trigger, I'm not sure what the view he's talking about is. I can look at that too. Is actually data replication. Let me think. Views. A view is a convenient shortcut to a query. Creating a view does not involve new tables or data. When run, an underlying query is executed running and returning results to the user. Postgres views bypass RLS unless you change their owner. Postgres 15 will have a more intuitive control for this. Oh, but that still doesn't even, that really doesn't really. I don't think I'll have an issue getting the information. Any thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts? Has anybody done this before? That can give me some lessons learned. So these do look useful, right? So these look very useful. But I don't know if it's really, I care about that here. So I'm going to have a profile table. I don't have one yet. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this before I start going wild here. And they use UIDs, right, for their user IDs. UUIDs. I probably want the email too, most likely. It's the ID, the email. The only thing is, when I change the email, maybe I don't want email on the profiles. What is it? UUID? They had a UID here. I think I have to do like int or string and then do UID. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I haven't used Prisma in a bit, so forgive me, it's gonna take me some time to get back into the swing of it, but we're gonna have an ID, we'll have a first name, which should also be a string, last name, string, and all this information is gonna be optional except for the ID. So I think this will be fine for now, just to kind of test things out, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna try the triggers until I run into a roadblock, probably, which I kind of foresee myself doing. So how does he do this, or she? So first they create the table, which I can just do through Prisma, right? And then I can go and set up a function once the table is created. I know, man. I wish you would just put it into a video. Real quick video. I like his drawings here. His circles. Squircles. This is my password. Okay, no, it's not. I was gonna be like, are you serious? They actually just logged. Well, I think the advantage of Supabase auth is part of the big appeal of even using Supabase at all. I get it. They give you a free for life Postgres database. But the cost of a Postgres database is pretty marginal, or nominal, I guess I should say. I think it's a better word for it. But like, I feel like personally, I would just have my own Postgres server running somewhere if I'm not going to use any of the, yeah, but the deployment of a database is fairly simple, I guess, compared to something else, right? Okay, now backups, that's another story, but yeah, I just think it would be weird to kind of build a whole project just around Postgres inside of Supabase without taking advantage of the other things that Supabase has to offer. So that's kind of the goal, at least my my thoughts. Because if I can't use the SDK at all, right? Again, right now I'm researching for probably a video that I'll make. Yeah, me too. I definitely like the idea of managing. I like both, right? I like the idea of being able to manage my tables like this with Prisma. But I also like the ability to easily handle auth with a little SDK. Yeah, all that stuff that they handle, I mean, you can do it from scratch. But then again, I just don't think of that as like Supabase. I know they do, again, they handle, it's a database as a service at that point, rather than actually being which they say they're a database company. But I think part of the big appeal is that, hey, I don't have to build up my own auth system and manage that. They'll just do it for me. Do they use JWTs? I think they do, right? Okay, so to actually push this, what's the command here? Okay, so it says your database is now in sync with your schema. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. What is the advantage of using Prisma versus Supabase SDK? Yeah, the type C. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think there's pros to both, and I want to take advantage of both. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How does that happen? And is it a pain? Is it more of a pain? But I'll do the hard work here and try to figure it out. And then we can decide once we give this a test, if it's if the juice is worth the squeeze, or if you should just opt for one or the other. So let me see this guide here. So we have the profiles table. I didn't create that relation. I'll probably handle that myself. So probably once he's setting up, I think he has the relation, right? So there's a relation there, which I know is probably better than the way that I'm doing it. Then you need to your functions in database settings. Yeah, that's my thoughts. That's what I'm wondering. But again, I'll find out. Wait, is it database settings? Database functions. I guess they have email too, right? I think the less, so my thought is the less I put in both. So this example is showing email and ID coming from the other table. But if the user changes their email, I'd have to have another trigger that would, or another function that would essentially update the profile entry with that ID, with that. So every time the user changes their email. So if I want to handle auth with Supabase SDK, then I certainly don't want to add extra things I'm going to have to keep account of. So I think just having the ID, yeah, I'm not going to use email for anything on the Prisma side. That's what I was just thinking about. So I'll create a username probably. Because I'm not sure if Pocketbase or Supabase allows that or not. I can't remember. Maybe it can, but either way. So let's create a new trigger and we'll say, what is it? What do you name it? Is create profile. Schema is profile. The event types that will trigger your trigger and insert. I think that's it. So yeah, if I did emails, then I would have to also check for updates, or if I did any other common fields, probably after, right? After the event. Yeah, I think that would make the most sense, right? After. Because I don't want this to update before the actual. Oh, wait. No, so this is not okay. The trigger should actually be with the user's auth table on an insert after the event. Wait, am I creating a trigger or a function? Oh, I'm creating the trigger already. Yo, what is up with this? Okay, why is this not in alphabetical order? I hate when lists are in alphabetical orders or alphabetical order. That really bothers me. Okay, it's a trigger. What else do they do here? No arguments. Did they make does Prisma make it plural? Do they make my database table name plural? I think they do, right? Michael said, if you go into Supabase to SQL editor, you can use the user management snippet to create a profile table and automatically create profile function. Yeah, but I wanted to find this. My question is, will that interfere with Prisma though? Because that's going to create a relation that Prisma can't know about. So that's my whole thing here. I was trying to see. I thought I could change. Can I change the name of this table? Why does this table not lowercase and not it creates it in schema public? I do a Prisma pull and see what changes in Prisma schema. Yeah, check that out, because one example is like setting the primary keys, right? There's a relation between, or the ID of the profile references the user's ID. And then if Prisma can't know about the auth.users, then that's obviously an issue, right? Is this how I change the name of the table? I can just say this, right? I thought this was something else. I thought this was a different name. Maybe I'm thinking of type ORM, but I thought this was. Uh-oh. Is my internet dying again? Not yet. Okay, cool. That's how you do that. Awesome. So for this, we do what? Insert into public.profiles. I really just want to insert ID. I don't need email. Now I create a trigger. Okay, makes sense. Trigger, users auth is the table before row, and then I'll choose that function. Why is it? Okay, wait. It's after. Okay, now I can invite a new user and then see if that actually works. I'm not going to have any of this issue because there's no actual relation there. Oh, I need to do, wait. I just need to do a question mark, right? Is that how I do these, as optional or nullable? Okay, so I sent an invite. So I think that, okay, I created this in here, which is good. 81207. Yeah, so that trigger works, which is good. So I think that's how we'll handle it for right now. Because I should be able to like make queries. Yeah, I think I should be okay. Oh man, it's already 10:20. Yikes. So I think right now a good idea, I guess, is that I want to test to see, I want to be able to update the profile, right? With the SDK, potentially. I'm going to try to see the feasibility of or the practicality of using both of these together. So how do they handle actually keeping track of the authenticated user for server-side rendering? Or do they just show it here? So using sessions. Okay, this is nice. They have server-side and client-side auth helpers. Already installed this, I think. Let me see if I can blur. Does this work? Let's look. Control F11, I think. And then you go back. Okay. So I added those two. What's next? I'm creating a client. I'm assuming it's going to be used for the front end. So I literally just have to import. I know that this will run once. All I have to do is just import it. Did I not install this? Is that a separate thing I have to install? I feel like it was in the past, but is it still? Because it's saying that yeah, I thought, but they say install the only additional dependency, Supabase.js. Oh, it's gonna have me type my environment variables. thought it said somewhere here how to handle the actual typing of environment variables too. I know this guy has a blog post on this, and he types it. Let's see. Where do I type these at? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. But it shouldn't need to be, right? Why does it need to be dynamic? Either way, does it matter? I don't, I don't think it matters, does it? For this specifically? Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw that it said that it was highly recommended to do static. I've done this on a previous project. Oh, this isn't even TypeScript. Let me see here if I can find one of my repos. Aha, I found it. Is this gonna be the same thing though, I wonder? Or is this only from the import or meta, import.meta, whatever, right? Okay, I think that only matters if I'm, yeah, so this is, oh, I'm still blurred, sorry. Let me close out of my environment variable file here. So this is how it was done when it was like import.meta.env. Whatever. You can get type hints if you did this, but I don't think this is necessary now. I just wasn't running my server. Oh, here's the auth helpers. They tell you to install it after this. Okay, so this is the client side stuff. For server side, we get server session. Okay, so I'm assuming that we could check the get server session. We could check here to see if they're authenticated. Maro, let's not talk about it, okay? But that env.d.ts, I remember setting something up for environment variables in the past, and that's whenever you used to do import.meta.env.whatever. That was a way to have type hints on the, or IntelliSense on that. I was confusing that with the fact that those red underlines were telling me that, hey, your server's not started, so we have no idea what these are. but we're not going to talk about that, okay? I'm trying to decide if I go forward with this or I go downstairs to bed and pick this up back up tomorrow. I was intending on having enough time to get through at least this much, but unfortunately with my internet issues, I'm running low on time here, and my lady might kill me if I stay up till 3 a.m. again. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sorry we only made it this far, but tomorrow I'm gonna stream and we'll actually set up the login process, see how that looks, see how we handle server-side stuff, especially actions. I'm assuming that so I'm really interested in that actually. I guess I could technically put it on any page, right? I can put this on any page.server is what I'm seeing here. I'm interested as to what this actually displays. So maybe I'll look at that really quick. Their documentation. I actually should probably be looking at the SvelteKit auth helper. This is interesting. I haven't actually seen these docs before. Are these new? Kind of reminds me of Python documentation. So get server session is what I want to look at. So it takes in a server load event. It returns a session. What does the session look like? I'm trying to see what this actually does behind the scenes. That's pretty important to me. I'm assuming the session is maybe defined in the other docs. Yo, this is really cool. What is this? Type doc. Adrian says, I've used the auth helper package for SvelteKit before a couple weeks ago. How did it go? Did it go good? This is cool. So yeah, this is a lot like Python. What's the dang Sphinx. Reminds me of Sphinx. I think it's Sphinx. Yeah, we can just do comments in TypeScript code. And it will just render out like a nice doc site for you. Yep, Maro, Sphinx, yep. I didn't see your message, but yeah, Sphinx. It was all right, but I changed away from Supabase entirely and just stuck with Prisma. That's probably what I'll end up doing as soon as I hit a roadblock with my workaround here that I'm trying to implement. What is the type of a session? So I want to see what a session looks like. I guess, oh, right here, session. Auth session. Okay, so this has the user, has the access token, and all this stuff. And I'm assuming that the and I wonder if does this just so yeah, it handles the automatic refreshing of the session too, of the token. Once it's within a certain expiry margin. My question is there like a method or is there a, let's see. So do I need to check to see if it's expired or not? That's my question. Or if it is expired, where was that? So get server session, it checks for me. So this get server session here takes in the event. Line 16 seems to be checking to see this is just checking to see if the expiration is within a certain window and then refreshing it if it is. But ultimately they're always returning the session. It might have something to do with the get session here. But is that going to throw if it doesn't? I don't see any like if the session's expired already, then what? Well, I guess it's going to, like, let's say that their refresh is even, let's just say their session's expired. They shouldn't refresh it, right? They should have to re-log in. And I like to know how it works behind the scenes, because I know pretty well how Pocketbase's SDK works, because they have it really well documented. I need to figure out what this get session does. And that's part of the Supabase client. So that's going to be in the actual Supabase docs. Oh, there's an is-auth error. This is actually really cool. I really like this. I really like these docs. Where does this come from? Okay. Yeah, I think wow, I have 16 viewers right now. What the heck? Welcome to the stream, everybody. I had no idea that I had so many people watching me read documentation, but welcome. I'm currently exploring the idea of using Supabase and Prisma together. Supabase SDK for authentication, and then Prisma for the models and the type safety. So my question still remains, what does this, when I run this get server session, how do I know if that's expired? Do I have to actually check it myself based on the expires that number here? Or does it throw? Or I guess that's my question. Because this piece, I'm creating a client, and then I'm carrying the client with me on the client side, of course. On auth state change, it's subscribing to this. And then it's going to invalidate that, which will then force them to relog in. I'm more concerned with this server side stuff, right? The problem with this, though, and I think that this only runs layout. The layout on mount only runs, I believe, whenever the layout first loads. But I guess since it's a subscription, maybe that handles that piece. Yeah, so it sets up the subscription, and then when that the auth state changes, it then invalidates this, which I'm assuming they set up like a dependency. So they're just awaiting this get Supabase and then returning the session. This is for client side. And then in the .server.ts file, get server session, it returns the session so that we can have access to it in our page.servers as well by awaiting parent. And I'm assuming this is just so that it actually is initialized. And then for a logging component, see, here's the thing, like, the example doesn't do a great job of showcasing all the, or covering all the bases of SvelteKit capabilities. So for this, this is 100%, they're not using form actions, which is like a pretty big part of SvelteKit, right? They're just setting up a custom handle, a custom event handler. And again, this is all using the client side Supabase client. And then this, wait, what is setting this session here? After user sign in, they able to edit the profile details, create a new account component to handle this functionality. So this is a bit dated. This is dated. Routes/account.svelte. I thought they updated this. When's the last time the SDK had an update? Or the auth helpers had an update? I mean, they're using plus, are they using plus layout and plus page in the example? And they have the new hooks.client and hooks.server, so it's like half updated. Regardless, again, they're only using custom event handlers. They're not actually submitting the form action. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, they're just building components. I see now. Okay. Sorry, Supabase. So they're just making components. So this auth component here is just a login form. Account is their account page. And they're just rendering all this here. So that's where they're passing session from page.data.session. And this will ultimately come from I guess it would come from this, right? I think it would come from this one. I think the plus layout.ts, well, its returns override plus layout.server. I think they actually have a I thought they had like a okay, so SvelteKit runs all load functions concurrently, avoiding a waterfall during client-side navigation. The result of calling multiple server-only load functions are grouped into a single response. I thought they had something here. I thought I saw the other day that like the hierarchy of which ones. Yeah, ultimately, I think that one overrides, or I think the layout.ts will override the layout.server. Because otherwise you need to use the await parent, right? Or does wait parent only apply to page? Anybody know the hierarchy there? I can test it, but all right, Luminox, as soon as a hard question gets brought up, you gotta leave, of course. Go figure. Just kidding. See you, man. See you tomorrow. If you're gonna be here. And have fun at school. Yeah, I don't think I didn't notice you peacing out every time the going gets tough. Yeah, does anybody know in chat which comes first or which will override what? So if I have, like the docs say here, layout.ts and layout.server.ts, both returning the same thing, or the same property, session. I want to say that this takes it. This is the last. So this will always override this in this case. So I guess. And they don't really show. Again, a problem with this, a problem with layouts, and I had a couple people comment on videos and stuff about putting like all the auth logic in the layouts, and I'm pretty sure that's not a best practice. I don't know the specific issue, but all of the load functions will still run. And well, for one, the layout.ts, layout.server.ts only runs when the layout's first loaded. The layout's loaded when you first navigate to a page that uses that layout. After that, all subsequent navigation is handled, is just them reslotting or replacing those pages inside of, or those page components in the slot of that layout. But the actual load function doesn't get reran every single time you navigate in between pages. If multiple load functions return data with the same key, the last one wins. The result of a layout load. Oh, there's a limit. Yeah, that's the statement I was looking at, or I was looking for. If multiple load functions return the data with the same key, the last one wins. The result of a layout load returning A1, B2, and a page returning B3, C. Yeah, so, but what if there's a layout.server and a layout. I think it would be the same as the page, right? It'd be the same as the. So it looks like here, okay, so the return value of the server, this is what I was looking for. The return value of the server only load function is the data property of the shared load function's argument. So inside of layout.ts, you would take in data here, which would be the data that's returned from the server side. And then if you don't do that, if you don't return that, then obviously that layout.ts is going to be the last one to touch it, the last one to set the property, and it's going to be the one that's being used. So their example here doesn't really do I'm interested in this. So they're obviously getting the auth helper started on the client and server side, both. So it's doing something within hooks, but what? And I think this only runs when the app first starts. If it's not inside of the handle, of course. And if it's inside the handle, then it runs on every request to the server. But I think everything else in hooks just runs upon the app running and stays running, of course. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to call it for today. I spent a lot of time troubleshooting internet issues earlier, so I apologize. I came on a little bit later and didn't get as far as I'd like to. But I think tomorrow I'm going to actually just use some of these examples and explore it live and just see what we get. That's kind of how I did. It's kind of what I usually do anyways. We'll create, again, like a registration or a sign up or whatever, and then a profile page and see how that works between Prisma and Supabase and see if we either drop Prisma or drop the SDK, which I don't see myself doing. If I'm using Supabase, I'm going to probably use the SDK. So yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Thank you all so much for hanging out. All the new viewers, I appreciate you guys hanging out here, guys and girls, hanging out here today. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening.